white. You can hear the countdown. Slovenia will kick us off. Andras Sporar, who is the strike partner for Šeško, plays the ball back to Drakusic. It is headed forward towards Kasper Schmeichel. He is all in green for Denmark. His teammates, the 10 outfield players, they are all in red with a little bit of white trim on the Danish kit. The pitch looks absolutely perfect, and we are underway here in the Stuttgart arena. Yannick Vestergaard has had a great season for Leicester, a Premier League player once more. He's on the left side of Denmark's three centre-backs. The ball is loose on the halfway line. Højbjerg plays a little pass to his right-hand side. It comes back to Barcelona's Andreas Christensen. We also have Victor Christiansen, spelt slightly differently. Leicester's 21-year-old playing at left wing-back for Denmark in this one. Spent last season on loan at Bologna. First touch for him, floppy blonde hair. One quick touch and a pass back to Vestergaard, and across it comes to Joachim Andersen, another familiar name to listeners of Premier League football, the Crystal Palace man in his orange boots. Slovenian fans jeering the Danish possession. Joachim Andersen's diagonal ball. Victor Christiansen keeps the ball in via the corner flag there. Left-footed pass into Eriksson, his first touch, little layoff. Back it comes to the edge of the box, cross comes in. Plenty of red shirts in the penalty area. No one could get the shot away. Then Hjulman plays the ball to the right. Andersen's cross comes in. Slovenia just hook it away any which way they can. Šeško heads it down, and Denmark at the moment smothering Slovenia earlier on.
It's been very noticeable. A lot of teams have tried to start with chaos in these games, and it's kind of worked. We've seen a couple of early goals, certainly in the Germany game. That was a very quite an early goal against Italy as well.
Christian Eriksen making a little dart forward. The cross didn't find him. Slovenia struggling to get out of their own half at the moment. They are all in white numbers in small print on the front of the shirts, on the left-hand side of the shorts, as well as on their backs as well. 21-year-old Victor Christiansen plays the ball to Hjulman. Morten Hjulman, by the way, no relation to the Danish manager Kasper Hjulman. Danish player down, writhing in agony inside the Slovenian penalty area, and our Swiss referee Sandro Scherer spots this and brings the game to a halt.
And it's Højlund, isn't it? Yep, just I think may have been stood on there. Nobody else is making any sort of big fuss about it.
I see.
His foot slipped because his boot came off.
You and I were talking about great commentators of the past. I always remember Bill McLaren, famous rugby union commentator, Scott as well, talking about, I think it was the rampaging Doddy Weir who'd lost the slipper. He described it as a slipper rather than a boot, which I always absolutely love.
They actually look more like slippers these days, but
it's true.
The games get back underway, and it started at quite a pace there. But that's maybe slowed it down and calmed it down just for a moment. But I love watching these games when they're two very, very different systems. It's a 4-4-2.
Yeah.
A good old-fashioned 4-4-2, which is really coming back into vogue at the moment. I watched Bayern Munich using it recently. Real Madrid have used it quite a few times. But the Danes, with their three at the back and very strong three centre-backs at the back, they'll be very dangerous at set pieces.
Yeah, looking to play from the back here as well, Denmark. I'll remind you of the two starting 11s in just a second. Jonas Vind of Wolfsburg is Rasmus Højlund's strike partner for Denmark. The ball has gone out for a throw-in for them on the right-hand side. Kasper Schmeichel is the captain. Nothing to do at the moment because Denmark attacking. Joachim Andersen, Andreas Christensen, Yannick Vestergaard, the three centre-backs. Benfica's Alexander Barr is the right wing-back. Victor Christiansen, we've mentioned, of Leicester, the 21-year-old, wide on the left. Hjulman and Pierre-Emil Højbjerg, the central midfielders behind Christian Eriksen, who's pulling the strings. Jonas Vind and Rasmus Højlund as the front two for Denmark. Højbjerg gave the ball away, has won it back with a crunching tackle. Højlund, first time touch, lays it back to Højbjerg, drags his pass across the pitch here to Christiansen. Christiansen finds Eriksson, central position, floated ball looking for the run of Højlund. Headed away by Drakusic for Slovenia. He's easy to spot with the shiny bald head, right-sided centre-back for the Slovenians, and they have barely seen the football in the first 5 minutes of this game. Slovenia 0, Denmark 0. Opening game in Group C, 8 o'clock tonight UK time. Full commentary of Serbia against England. Kelly Cates will be with us at half-time as we start to build up towards that game. John Murray and Matt Upson with the commentary. Joe Hart and Izzy Christiansen involved in the coverage as well this evening. Right, here comes Slovenia for the first time with the ball. Stojanovic bursting forward, lays it off. Sporar's low cross into the penalty area. It's cleared away by Joachim Andersen. Falls nicely here for the giant figure of Vestergaard, who tried a little bit of sort of tricky wing play, got it completely wrong. Lost the ball. Now Eriksson on the ball, trying to turn inside his own half. Thought he was fouled and gets the decision as well, actually. Free kick for Denmark. Pat Nevin.
Yeah, I can hear the surprise in your voice, and I would echo that. I'm not sure that was a free kick. However, at the start of the game, I mean, Eriksson tried to find space there, but they obviously try to close him down as much as possible. And because of that, it's allowing a lot of space for Victor Christensen over here on the left-hand side. And the Danes, they must rate him because they have fed him the ball time and time again. So obviously we know he's got a bit of pace, he's got a trick as well, but if he can stretch that defence a bit, that's what Eriksson needs, because he will find space if his winger drives down the line.
Ninth cap for Denmark for Victor Christensen. Ball over the top to Jonas Vind, brings that down well, looking to try and get a right-footed shot away, holds off the challenge of the defender. Shot is blocked, hacked away by Timmy Ilshnik. Offside flag was up, and so Slovenia will get themselves a free kick. So yeah, Victor Christensen on loan at Bologna last season from Leicester. Be interesting to see what Leicester decide to do next season back in the Premier League. But Bologna had a fantastic season in Serie A. He played a big part as they finished fifth. Slovenia's team, Jan Oblak, all in yellow away to our left. Bright orange gloves match the bright orange boots. Jan Karničnik is the right back. Such a clear 4-4-2, as Pat says, because we've got a very lofty aerial position to watch this game from. When they're lined up without the ball, they just could not be more 4-4-2. Karničnik the right back, Erik Janza at left back, Vanja Drukazic and Jaka Bijol of Udinese as the two centre-backs. Stojanovic on the ball for Slovenia, right-sided midfielder in a central position at the moment. There's the right-back Karničnik, who gets involved. Now it falls to the key playmaker in central midfield, and that's Gnezda Cherin. Out it comes to the right. Gnezda Cherin again. Right-footed pass from him to his central midfield partner Ilshnik. Malakar is the man who plays wide left in the 4-4-2. The ball doesn't reach him. A cross is overhit from the left-back Erik Janza, and it goes behind for the goal kick. So Stojanovic, Cherin, Ilshnik, Mlakar, the midfield for Sporar, and Šeško up top for Slovenia.
And it's very noticed, the Slovenians, as soon as they get a ball out wide, be it right or left, it doesn't matter, it's whipped him to the box. They absolutely believe in Šeško and Sporar as well to get it in there. What's the big thing if you're playing 4-4-2? You'll know it from the past. The two have to work together. They have to understand each other. They have to feed each other, one go short, one go long, and it'll be interesting to see how much they actually do work with each other as the game goes on.
Victor Christensen, going to have to use his first name a fair bit because we've got Andreas Christensen. There's another Rasmus Christensen in the Denmark squad as well. Only two of them out there in the starting 11 today. Here is Victor Christensen playing the ball centrally into Højlund. Laid off by Vin. Højbjerg to Hjulman, then Eriksson, clever scoop from him. Højlund did really well to control that. Lays it low to his right-hand side. Ball comes in from the right, blocked at the near post behind for the first corner of the game for Denmark.
And of course it was the inventiveness of the man we've been talking about more than anyone else. Eriksson, he gets it in the D, the classic position that the 10 wants to get the ball, and he tries a little reverse flick. Now it didn't get through, but it caused all sorts of panic because it's an unorthodox ball. Nearly led to the first really good chance. Huge support for Christian Eriksen as he marches over to take this corner from the right-hand side. Spider cam above the players as that corner comes into the near post. Stooping header away is from Malakar for Slovenia. Slovenia then come rushing up towards the halfway line, trying to close the Danish players down. Christian Eriksen lurking wide on the right-hand side. Plays it back to Joachim Andersen of Crystal Palace. Alexander Barr, who played the initial low cross that won the corner, plays his club football at Benfica. He starts to make a creeping move down the right-hand side. Andreas Christensen just rolls it to Joachim Andersen. Slovenia start to backpedal. 9 minutes gone in the first half here in Stuttgart. Slovenia 0, Denmark 0. Serbia, England. Minutes ticking away. Less than 3 hours now until kick-off in Gelsenkirchen this evening. The other two teams in this group. Andreas Christensen. That game, by the way, tonight, England's game, also on BBC One. But if you want to, as at previous tournaments, you can link the pictures up with the 5 live commentary via the BBC
eye player. Jonas Vind, Pat Nevin, has just won a free kick for Denmark with a clever little back heel.
Yeah, it's very interesting that it's happened quite a few times in this tournament. The importance of starting, not just starting quick, but pushing the defenders back that you're playing against, allowing space for you to hold the ball. And the game can go into that pattern for a good period. It can go 10, 15, 20 minutes in that period, which makes you more likely to score. We are 10 minutes in now. They've hardly got out of their half, the Slovenians. I think they've got into the half twice and put sort of wild crosses in from distance. This shouldn't be a wild cross, this should be quite a good one.
This will be Christian Eriksen from 40 yards out, delivers the ball towards the penalty spot. Header is flicked high over the bar from Andreas Christensen, and behind it goes for the goal kick. Maybe
not enough whip on it. I mean, it's certainly the first corner that Eriksen took. He did hit the first man, and in that one there, you can see he's a wee bit annoyed with himself. I mean, he's slapping the thigh a little bit there, but you can put the ball into a good area, which it was, but you need to put it in there with pace. Yep. It certainly wasn't enough pace in that.
He certainly won't be thinking about this now, but as you said before kick-off, Pat, just a joy to see him out there playing football for Denmark at a Euros. Højbjerg, he thought he'd nicked it there inside the Slovenian half, penalised for a foul on Ilshnik. Højlund immediately was on his bike and racing to get into space if play had been allowed to continue.
But you know what? I'm not sure about that at all. And it's a big call because they were through 2 and 2 there. Højlund was just running into a good area. Those are the ones you think, referee, let it go. You can look back on it, don't worry, we've got VAR.
Good point. Stojanovic's ball out to the left-hand side. Mlakar gets involved for the first time for Slovenia. He's forced back towards the halfway line. Diagonal ball is pinged to the right. Karničnik plays it back to Cherin. Cherin in turn back into his own half to Drukusic, who comes back to his goalkeeper, Oblak. First thunderclap of the first half begins from the Danish fans. What a sight that is. Like a giant restaurant tablecloth, all that red and white, with the hands clapping ever faster together as Oblak plays the ball out to the right. Karničnik chips one down the wing. A couple of Danish players jumped together. Vestergaard landed heavily. He's okay, picks himself up. Denmark have kept the ball in play, and Eriksen speeds onto it and just rolls it back to Vestergaard.
They're not comfortable, are the Slovenians? They're not getting on the ball at all. When they get on the ball, they don't look as if they're going to keep it for any length of time, but it may well be part of the game plan. You resist the Danes for a little while, you hold on to the ball when you get it if you possibly can, but you let the Danes just play in front of you for a while. I wouldn't be doing that because I'm watching Højlund's moving, and I have to say, he looks an even different player when he plays with Denmark. He looks so confident. He believes he's the main man there. 7
goals in qualifying, starting with a hat-trick in the first group game against Finland, a couple in the defeat away to Kazakhstan as well. Here's Victor Christensen on the left, cuts back in onto his right foot, bringing the ball in field. 4 white shirts in front of him. No one can get it off him though, and now he's worked his way out to the left-hand side, kept it. And Hjulman involved, plays back to Højbjerg, quickly forward to Eriksen, laid off to Hjulman, quick passing from the Danes, and then eventually the last one doesn't find Vind, just gets away from him and rolls behind for the goal kick. And then you see the Slovenian boss, Maciej Kek, immediately get to the edge of the pitch and try and have a word with some of his midfielders' defenders.
Yeah, because, and they all just one in the boot. If you're playing against 4-4-2, the reason why it's not used very much anymore is because there are gaps between those 3 lines. And that's where players want to find it, and that's where Eriksen wants to find the gaps. He's actually found it a couple of times there. On that occasion there, he was the one who was playing the through pass. It was played back, Hjulman then tried to do an Eriksen pass. Hasn't quite got the touch of Christian Eriksen, and he played it far too quick, heavily back, and the goalkeeper picked it up. But you can see exactly what the Danish are trying to do just now.
Throw in on the right for Denmark. Eriksen drops deep, volleyed attempt from Christensen, completely scuffed, nearly ran into the path of Højlund, who was alert in the penalty area, didn't find him, and Oblak picks it up.
That was a left footer's attempt at a right foot. I've often told you about this. Right footers can hit with the left foot, lefties rarely can hit with the right.
Oblak drops the ball at his feet, goes long towards Sporov, flicks it on. Mlakar tries to get onto the end of it. Bar is there, clears it away. Now falls for Šeško. First time we've seen him with the ball at his feet. Trying to run onto the back heel, trying to play that 1-2 with Cherin. Cut out by Denmark, and then Cherin zipping left and right, trying to win this ball back. Denmark keep it inside their own half. Strong challenge by Bijol on Vin. Vin goes down. Referee had played the advantage, then pulls it back for the free kick to Denmark.
Thought he got the ball, to be honest. It was a thumping challenge, it has to be said. And the referee actually played that well there. He said, OK then, it may well be a foul. I've watched it again. I'll change my mind on that.
Got there a little late.
He got there as soon as he could, and it was nowhere near quick enough. Thumping challenge, I wouldn't change my mind on that. It definitely was that.
Šeško, the RB Leipzig centre forward, wears the number 11 for Slovenia. 6'4" tall. Sort of classic centre forward look about him, easy to spot as well. He's dyed the hair from this range and we're quite a way away. It's not really blonde, it's sort of got a greyish tint. Slovenia have won it inside their own half. Šeško will be involved. Clever little turn on the halfway line, finds Ilsnik. Ilsnik looking to his right to Sporar. Pass is intercepted. Christian Eriksen has lost it for Denmark though. Šeško gets it on the turn, fancies a shot. Oh, I thought that was heading for the top corner, just wide. Schmeichel threw himself to his right. The confidence of Šeško to turn and hit it and very nearly pick out the top corner.
He has done 3 things in this game so far, just 3 things, and every one of them will be superb. I mean, I'm thinking, don't shoot from there, wow! You know, and it nearly goes into the top corner. Just before that, he picked the ball up in a slightly deeper area, played a little 1-2 and made the perfect run beyond. The ball wasn't played for him, but it was perfection. Do you know what? This kid's got something.
Yeah, it's a good start. 16 minutes gone in the first half. 5 Live BBC Sounds and the World Service. Serbia-England on the way. 3rd game at the Euros this evening. This Sunday, Slovenia 0, Denmark 0. Ball forced to Eriksen with his right foot on the half volley. Fantastic goal for Denmark. And what a moment for Christian Eriksen, who 3 years ago in Copenhagen admitted he thought he'd almost gone from this world. Well, he's right here, right now, runs under the ball, finishes for Denmark and celebrates a superb goal. Slovenia 0, Denmark 1.
Well, first of all, what a beautiful goal. But secondly, what a beautiful moment. It is amazing. I mean, goals are celebrated, but there's something special about that for the Danish fans, the way they did that. You know, was that something that's worked in training? Because it's a throw-in, and you do work in throw-ins in training. It's just a little flick, a little layoff, back heel into Eriksen, who's continued his run from the right-hand side. It is not an easy finish because he has to take it down with his chest and half-foot volley with his right toe. It is a gorgeous goal, brilliant goal. Don't know how you can actually defend against that, but they are deserving of it. They have been the better team up until now. They have started on the front foot, and it's worked. And I think most people in here are delighted if the Dane's going to score. It's that man Eriksen.
Yes, written in the stars, potentially. Fabulous to see him out there playing for Denmark after what happened to him 3 years ago. And what a moment for him and the Danish fans and his family, of course. And listen to the reception as Eriksen's name is read out inside this stadium. I don't think he'll have scored a more emotional goal than that for his country. That is his 42nd. It's only his 2nd at a major tournament. But I guess most importantly in terms of the group, it's got them off to a flyer. They've been on the front foot in this game and they've got themselves ahead.
Yeah, we talk about sometimes it being a dream. It kind of almost is. It's so exceptional, extraordinary, the story behind just that goal now. But what a relief it is for the Danes to actually get that little chance there, take that little chance and show that all the work that they put in to get where they are in this game has actually got them ahead. Now the Slovenians have got to do something and not only just play in the break.
Danish fans continue the celebrations away to our left. Slovenia have some thinking to do. They trailed Denmark by 1-0. 6th major tournament for Eriksen. 32 years old, on the move again there as the ball is floated over the top. So is Højlund chasing that, and Drukovic covers him and just nods the bouncing ball back to his goalkeeper, Jan Oblak. Great timing of the run from Eriksen, but as Pat Nevin was just saying, there's so much still to do to chest it down and stretch out the right foot. Now that's a good ball to get Sporar away on the right-hand side for Slovenia. Low cross comes in and a brilliant sliding challenge to knock the ball out by Andreas Christensen, and that will be a corner for Slovenia.
Well, the entire Danish defence thought that was offside. I disagree with him. I thought he'd actually made a very decent run. If it was offside, it was incredibly close. However, they won't look at VAR because, of course, it just went for a corner kick. Slightly surprised by the movement of our Manchesco. He didn't go to the near post, he didn't go beyond the defenders, he hung out back for the cross and it didn't reach him.
So corner will be taken by Adam Gnezda Cherin, number 22 for Slovenia. Referee just holding things up, having a word with Kasper Schmeichel and
Ilsnik, I think,
Ilsnik, yeah.
Ilsnik's going to have to stop Schmeichel coming out.
Yeah, standing on Schmeichel's toes, or trying to, inside the 6-yard box. He's disappeared, made a run to the near post. Cherin delays the delivery of the corner, takes a few paces back. Then it comes in with the right foot, deep it goes. Bit of shirt tugging going on in there. Left-footed strike, deflected heavily, and goes behind for another corner to Slovenia. Erik Janza hit that on the half volley.
It's very weird, you know, you get set pieces, your first corner kick, you think, okay, what are you going to do? Because you must have worked on it. That was a shambles. They had no idea what they were doing, did they? They changed their mind about 4 times and then made a real mess of it.
20 minutes gone in the first half. Corner for Slovenia, attacking the goal away to our right. It reaches Janza again, who scuffs the attempt this time, first time. Blocked by a sea of legs on the edge of the Danish penalty area. Stojanovic is able to collect for Slovenia just inside the Danish half. Comes across now to Karničnik. Slovenia drew 1-1 at home to Denmark in the qualification campaign. Lost 2-1 in Copenhagen. Both teams finished on 22 points, and Denmark, because of their superior head-to-head record, actually went through as the group winners. Slovenia trail 1-0 in this crucial game, opening game in Group C. Janza's floated ball over the head of Šeško. Andreas Christensen heads it forward. Back it comes to Joachim Andersen. Rather lazy clearance with his right foot, nearly gave the ball away. Vin had his toes trodden on there, hobbles away from the challenge, and Denmark have a free kick just inside their own half.
It has gone a little bit scrappy. Before that, you know, the Danes knew what they were doing. They structured the game the way they wanted it. They were getting the ball out wide time again. They were stretching that back four. But just since the goal, it's got very scrappy. And maybe that's exactly what the Slovenians want, you know, a little bit of a battle in midfield so that they can maybe get a little bit of break, give a half chance to both Spora and Šeško up front. But so far, that's all it's been, the odd half chance.
Nearly at the midway point in the first half. Those are the thoughts of former Scotland international Pat Nevin. Pat and I will be commentating on Scotland-Switzerland on Wednesday night, 8 o'clock kickoff UK time. That'll come your way after commentary on Germany-Hungary at 5. Those are the next 2 games in Group A. You'll obviously be listening to us this evening as well. If you're on the move, of course, during the tournament, BBC Sounds app, got to have that on your device. Take us with you wherever you go. And the Football Daily podcast at the Euros, instant reaction to all the day's events, game stories, etc. There for you. At the end of the day, first thing the following morning, Serbia-England on the way for you tonight, followed by Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton taking the calls on 6:06. Plenty of football still to be played here, though. Slovenia 0, Denmark 1, if you are just tuning in. Listening to us on the BBC World Service as well, potentially this afternoon. Here's Stojanovic. Stojanovic just floats a ball across his own half. Jaka Bijol, the Udinese centre-back, gets onto it. Makes a little bit of ground towards the halfway line. Comes across to Drukuzic. In turn, he finds the right-back Karničnik. Slovenia keeping the ball, but can't get out of their own half at the moment. Bijol's going to go with a longer one down the inside right channel. Good ball, chested down by Stojanovic, trying to get away there from Christensen. Couldn't quite do it, and Schmeichel clears with his right foot.
He's had a couple of really lovely touches, Stojanovic. He's got himself into really interesting positions. Doesn't quite seem to have the speed to get away, though.
Here's Karničnik, the right-back for Slovenia. 35 yards from the Danish goal, inside right channel, plays it back to little number 22, Cherin, who's one of the goal scorers in Slovenia's 2-0 win against Portugal in the friendly in March. Drukuzic looks for the long diagonal out towards the left-back Janza. Mlakar heads the bouncing ball towards Janza, but beyond him, and it goes out for a throw-in to Denmark on the right.
It's really tempting to look at one player, and it almost always is Eriksson in a game like this. And just watching him, how he plays that 10 position. You don't sit in the gap. That's the place you never go. You arrive there with the ball.
Slovenia have it again. So Denmark, last few minutes or so, just allowing Slovenia a little bit of possession, not pressing them too intently at the moment. Eriksson comes trotting across. Karničnik's curling ball forward. Sporar chests it down and then miscues a volley from a tight angle, it has to be said, and smashes the ball into the Slovenian fans away to our right, offside.
Again, he shouted offside. I think he's got it right, the assistant referee. That's a good call there. It's very, very tight, but he's got it right. And you see those both centre-forwards, that Sporar as well as Šeško, they do want to run in behind. It's like the problem they've got just now, it's a back three. If you're two of you against a back two, there are more gaps and more obvious gaps, and you can run around people. That's when you're playing a front two against a back three. You really have to use your imagination a little bit more, and at the moment the Danes they've mopped up most of it and look fairly comfortable most of the time. Back
in control of the ball. Hjulman lets that run beyond him. Højlund tried to lay it back into his path. Slovenia have intercepted Stojanovic too much on that chip pass, looking for the run of Šeško. He's ballooned the ball straight into the arms of Kasper Schmeichel. So Christian Eriksen with a poignant, emotional, uplifting goal in the Stuttgart arena here. Has Denmark 1-0 ahead against Slovenia in terms of major international tournaments. Famous goals scored here. Republic of Ireland fans will remember Ray Houghton's early one, Euro 1988, when they beat England by 1-0. Here's today's goal scorer, Eriksson. Great vision, sees Christensen making the run. Low cross comes in, Drukazic almost makes a mess of the clearance, hit both feet there, but Slovenia managed to scramble it away. Stojanovic's ball forward to Šeško, looking to win the free kick. Felt Anderson had wrestled into the floor, goes down, doesn't get the decision. Eriksson on the ball again for Denmark.
He's slightly quarterbacking it, isn't he, Eriksson? He's picking it up in that pocket time and time again. And that time, he doesn't even need to make the final pass. It's the one before the final pass that he will see that stretches defences. And once again, that was a beautiful pass down the line there. They couldn't quite get a goal out of it.
Oblak, risky pass to Janza. Got a little nudge in the back from Alexander Barr, but not enough, that, says the referee, for a free kick. Barr gets the ball, crosses it in. It was Eriksson again, furthest forward, trying to get on the end of it. It's intercepted, and it's knocked behind for a corner to Denmark. Slovenia 0, Denmark 1. Talking the quarterback role, David Beckham, a goal scorer in this stadium as well at the World Cup in 2006 when England beat Ecuador by 1-0.
Free kick, was it?
I think it might have been, Patch. I should have looked the goal up. Yeah, I've got a feeling
Often
it might have been. He was pretty good at those. 27 minutes gone. First half in Stuttgart. Slovenia 0, Denmark 1 in England's group. Eriksson's low drill delivery, volleyed away by Sporar, straight back to Eriksson. Again, drilled in. Oh, Mike going for an own goal, just creeps past the right-hand post. That would have been desperately unfortunate. Eriksson took a chance, fisted in. It basically pinged between two Slovenian defenders, and Oblak was just flat-footed and helpless there. It hit Malakar's knee, Pat, and very nearly crept in the far corner.
No, but how good's the technique by Eriksson there? I mean, honestly, most people get it down, get it on the ground and clip it to the back post. He doesn't. He takes it on the half volley and zips it across. A horrible ball to deal with. He's loving it today.
He is, and here he is again, taking the corner from our side. The left, oh, great delivery, nodded down by Vestergaard. The giant, 6'6" of him in his red Danish shirt, climbed up well, nodded it down, wide of the target, and it remains Slovenia 0, Denmark 1.
Right, OK, we're nearly 30 minutes in, but keep it up like this and Eriksson's get man of the match without even trying. He's cruised into it. He's picking up spaces. It's almost too easy for him against such an obvious, 4-4-2. He knows where the spaces are. This isn't complicated. They're not detailing anyone to mark him at all. And it almost, you look down there and you think, can you keep doing that? And certainly Slovenia, there are too many decent number 10s in this competition, and particularly playing for England. They would have a field day against this, to be fair.
2.5 hours away from kick-off in Gelsenkirchen this evening. 5 Live and BBC Sounds, the place to listen to Serbia against England. Their first game at Euro 2024. Eriksson trying to control a ball that was fortuitously knocked into his path. He didn't see it coming inside the Slovenian half stretch, couldn't quite control it, and it's gone out for a throw-in to Slovenia on the right. Cherin comes racing towards Karničnik to receive the ball. They work that well. Karničnik goes past Eriksson, chips a pass out to the left back Janza threads a brilliant ball through, and Sporar couldn't control it and take it on the run, because had he done so, he was through one-on-one.
That's a brilliant ball, isn't it? Absolutely beautiful ball. He knew what he was doing. He'd actually held up his run as well, so held it and held it. Probably could have played 2 or 3 seconds earlier, but it was still a great ball, but it bounced slightly too high for him. Very, very impressed by the movement of Sporer as well. They've not linked brilliantly together, the two strikers, but the movement's good. Both of them are just natural strikers. You wonder if they might actually be a bit better as a team if they actually just played with one of them.
Yeah, maybe, Pat. Hoyland trying to flick a little ball around the corner for Eriksson. They were certainly on the same wavelength there. It just didn't quite fall for him. Bijol, Slovenian centre-back, has the ball at his feet. 3 more commentaries from the Euros coming your way tomorrow as well. 2 o'clock, Romania, Ukraine in Group E, followed by Belgium, Slovakia at 5. Vicky Sparks and Chris Sutton with that one live from the stadium in Frankfurt. Austria, France. Looks like a really good game, actually. John Murray and Matt Upson are going to be busy because they're doing Serbia-England for us this evening. Eriksson, great ball, back into the path of Hjulman. He's half-tackled. Højbjerg picks up the loose bits for Denmark. Low pass out to Barr. Hjulman looking for the 1-2 with Barr. Just beyond him there. Slovenia get it back to Oblak. Hurried clearance with his left foot. Højbjerg, well-placed header, finds Hjulman up towards Hoyland. Hoyland using his body to hold the ball up and turn. Gets the ball across to his strike partner, Vin. Denmark still have it. Back they come into a central position to Højbjerg. His pass intercepted. Counter-attack for Slovenia. But Denmark do have the numbers back to try and deal with it. Sporar at speed on the right into the penalty area. Dummies the cross. Højbjerg goes sliding past him. Headed away at the near post by Vestergaard. And then volleyed to the left. And actually Sporar's done really well to scramble back and keep that ball in play.
Yeah, but he made a mistake not putting the ball in just slightly ahead. There's a half a second where the ball in needs to be played, and the good players, the very good players, know when to do it, and he just left it a little bit too late. The movement in the front, and that's why I was talking to you earlier on about, you know, Šeško and Sporar working together, understanding each other. Šeško made the right run, wasn't given the right ball. And by the way, breaking news, Šeško lightning quick as well. He's got everything, this guy.
Yeah, you can see why people are watching him. He's just jogging at the moment in between a couple of the Danish centre-backs. Slovenia have the ball inside the Denmark half. Ilžnik's first-time pass comes back to Bijol. Across to Drukazic. Drukazic leaning back, spoons one up in the air. Long diagonal pass out to the left. Janza with the chest control, and again Slovenia come back to the halfway line. Ball fired forward. Oh, stretching effort to try and control that from Stojanovic. Wouldn't have counted if he had been able to bring it down because the offside flag was up, but play continues because Schmeichel has the ball.
It's 3 times now they've actually played that same ball. When I say same ball, it's from deep, it's from 60 yards. Deeper than the Danish centre-backs. But they don't seem to read it. It still goes over the top. They still almost got to the end of it. Twice it's been offside. The third time wasn't able to bring it down. But you can see exactly where the Slovenians think the weakness is in this Danish side. And it is 60-70 yard long balls with a peeling striker or midfielder.
Andreas Christensen plays across to Vestergaard. He wears number 3, the giant centre-back for Denmark. Low pass with a bit of pace to Joachim Andersen, who moves forward into the Slovenia half. Continues a run down the right, but Denmark work the ball back centrally to Barcelona's Andreas Christensen. Forward to Hjulman, who's in that central midfield role. Plays his club football for Sporting, title winner last season, keeping things ticking in central midfield for Denmark. Wide to Benfica's Alexander Barr. Pass finds Eriksson in that little pocket of space, inside right channel. Low ball from him to the byline, cross cut back towards the far post. Victor Christensen heads it straight up in the air. Headed clearance for Slovenia, lands at the feet of Eriksson. Awkward one for him to control. Of course he's managed to do that. What a lovely cross into the near post. Nearly found Højlund. Brilliant interception by Bijol, and it's gone behind for a Danish corner.
He's a class apart. You're talking an international match here. He's just head and shoulders above any player technically on that field just now, Eriksson. Give him space. It's exactly what I expected before the game. Give him space against a team that's leaving a gap between the centre-backs and the midfield. He will just have a party.
Just over 10 minutes remaining in the first half. 5 Live BBC Sounds and the BBC World Service here in Stuttgart. Eriksson's corner, an away swinger. Joachim Andersen gets ahead to it. Christensen is able to control it. Back to goal inside the Slovenian box. Andersen stretches out a leg. Slovenia have enough bodies to deal with it. Stojanovic running here at Højbjerg, gets a second bite at the cherry, slides in and wins the ball. Denmark just reassess their options. Short passes between Eriksson and Højbjerg. And now Hjulmand gets a shout from Victor Christiansen on his left, but he leaves that for Rasmus Højlund. Højlund suddenly bursts into life, lays the ball off, sprints forward, doesn't receive the return pass. So England against Serbia tonight. Full commentary, 8 o'clock UK time. England's next opponents in the group, Thursday, Denmark, Frankfurt, 5 o'clock kickoff. So don't miss that one either on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Right-footed ball into the penalty area, headed away by Janza for Slovenia. Hjulmand is there to mop things up. Back it comes to Anderson. And Andreas Christensen sees Eriksson coming towards him, gives him the ball immediately, and Denmark just knocking it around. Walking pace at the moment, leading through the Eriksson goal. The stadium has fallen a little silent for a moment or so, and Denmark decide to come all the way back to Kasper Schmeichel.
Yeah, they are the better team, the Danes, and they are creating more chances, and they have got the best player. However, and it's a big however, only 1-0, and there are danger signs when they, break from deep. They've got 2 strikers up there, the Slovenians, and just watching the pace in which Šeško is running at. I mean, there's something equine about the way he runs. It really is. He gallops more than anything else, but that gallop's a very quick gallop.
Oblak clears for Slovenia. Barr volleys it forward with the instep of his right boot, slightly miscues that. It goes over the head of Janza and out for a throw into Slovenia in their left back position. Janza dummies to take the quick throw. Nice cool temperature this evening, bright sunshine this afternoon. Pat was out running this morning and found a lovely park to run in, Pat, but B, you were recommending the run tomorrow morning before we head off to our next destination because of a fantastic spiral staircase in the park.
Yes, and much to my surprise, flamingos walking about in the park. I thought, wait a minute, did I have one too many last night? But no, there were flamingos in the park.
Spiral staircase, which afforded a view of the city of Stuttgart. Cross comes into the Denmark penalty area, half deflected. Barr's not taking any chances, bouncing ball, and he nods it behind for the corner to Slovenia. Jack Draper, a British tennis player, has had success in Stuttgart today. Beat Matteo Berrettini in the Stuttgart Open, which is a lovely way to warm up for Wimbledon. Slovenia waiting to take their corner, 8 minutes remaining in the first half. Slovenia attacking the goal, behind which the majority of their fans are sitting on their feet. Shirts are off for plenty of them, waving them above their heads, scarves and flags as well. Faces painted, corner taken short. Back it comes here to Janza, the left back. Low pass across the face of the area to Stojanovic. Takes his time, digs it up in the air. Biol looks to get the header. Miscue from Sporar on the volley, and the offside flag is up again, so Denmark will have a chance.
Yeah, but again, when they get the corner kicks and they get the players up, you just think there's a nervousness just beginning to creep into that Danish defence. They probably feel as if they've done enough to be 2-0 up by now. They've had a few chances. They've not had the pace to keep on going, or the strength to keep on going at the pace that they started with. So you can see that the Slovenians are thinking, okay, is that it? Is it going to keep on going at that level? Are we going to go and have half a chance now? Are we going to be able to build ourselves into this game? And only 1-0 down and being second best, the Slovenians don't need to panic yet. Absolutely don't need to panic yet. They are creating the odd half chance.
Amazingly, at the last Euros 3 years ago, Denmark ended up in the semi-finals. That wasn't the amazing bit. The amazing bit, they lost the first 2 games in the group and actually got through by winning the final game. They beat Russia by 4-1. 3 teams ended up on 3 points, and Denmark were the ones to go through on the head-to-head goal difference, and on they went all the way through to the semi-finals, beating Wales and the Czech Republic on the way. They're leading Slovenia by 1-0 here. Closing stages of the first half on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Højbjerg, ball at his feet, middle of the Slovenian half, loads of space out on the right, he's seen it. Finds Barr with a pass, prompts the run of Eriksson, tries to twist and feed it back to Barr, gets it to Eriksson, angles tight for him, left-footed drive, deflected, ball spins, bounces away from Victor Christiansen. He's going to let that bounce and run, and he just backpedals and takes control of it for Denmark wide on the left. Comes back with the pass to Højbjerg. Andreas Christiansen, little 1-2 with Hjulmand, and Denmark start the build-up again. Victor Christiansen stays wide left, fancies a run infield here, taking on Karnichnik, then stops, plays back to Højbjerg. Højbjerg gets the ball on his right foot, curls the cross in, looking for the run of Bar. Ball spins up in the air, then bounces over the dead ball line, and the last touch came from a Slovenian defender, so that will go behind for a Denmark corner.
Yeah, they managed to lift it again. Oddly, when you do see a little moment where the Danes have they run out of ideas, they seem to be able to change the game pattern. They seem to lift the pace when they absolutely need to. And once again, it was the same man that started that move again. Right at this moment, it's a masterclass of how to play the classic 10 position.
And that is 32-year-old Christian Eriksen about to take this corner for Denmark. Right-footed, delivery towards the far post. Oblak, double-fisted punch away. Good power on it. Comes all the way back here to Victor Christiansen. Just inside the Slovenian half, pretty much on his own. Denmark players coming back towards him. Gets the shout from his captain, Kasper Schmeichel, who wants to get involved in the game. Right-footed pass from him, low to Bar. Joachim Andersen at walking pace, thinking about the diagonal, because Christian Eriksen has just drifted over to the left-hand touchline beneath our eyes from our commentary position here. Vestergaard plays back to Andreas Christensen. Into the feet of Højbjerg on the halfway line. Christian Eriksen gives him a wave. Eriksen just waiting for the ball to arrive. Here it comes. One touch with the left foot. Thinks about the ball forward, rolls it back instead to Vestergaard. Wide it goes to the 21-year-old Victor Christiansen. In turn to his Leicester teammate Vestergaard, and back it comes to Schmeichel again. Schmeichel feeds it out to the right-hand side to Joachim Andersen. Andersen walking forward with the ball at his feet. Plays across to the middle of the three centre-backs, Andreas Christensen. Passes on to Vestergaard. Jonas Vin had made a dart through the inside right channel. Vestergaard decided the pass wasn't on. Comes back to Andersen. Now the run on the left-hand side, maybe on for Victor Christiansen. Intercepted by Karnichnik on the volley. Stojanovic back for Slovenia. Under pressure here from Højbjerg. Plays back to Drukovic, who clears, but that is intercepted. And now Denmark might fancy their chances. Christian Eriksen being urged to shoot, does shoot, but Ilsnik closed that down well and made the block. Ball spins back to Højbjerg.
He's on a mission, Eriksen. Every time he gets the ball, the other wants to create a chance to try and score a goal, and it wasn't on there. It's as simple as that. He's 30 yards out, he's getting closed down, and that's probably the first poor decision he's made in the game so far.
Here's Andreas Christensen for Denmark. Joachim Andersen being encouraged to come forward. Slovenia have everyone behind the ball. 3 minutes left in the first half, trailing Denmark by 1-0. Højbjerg, cross to Andersen, wide to Bar back to Andersen, back inside the Danish half now with Andreas Christensen. Jonas Vin has come deep to collect the ball. Short sleeve, bright red shirt. And there's his strike partner, Højlund. Højlund gives it to Victor Christiansen. Christiansen looking for Vin. Pass didn't find him. Loose touch from Slovenia. Vin gets it again. Good cutback, and Eriksen leans back and spoons one over the bar, unlike him in this game.
Unlike him, but guess what? He found the space. He went to where the defenders weren't. Ball falls straight at him. No, it's not a good finish at all there. Ball's come to him quick. Possibly time to take a touch. Maybe not, but he's had a lash at it. It's gone over the crossbar. But once again, if you're Højlund, you're thinking, why don't I get the ball there? Why don't I find myself in there? I'm the striker. Well, that's because Eriksen knows what to do and knows when to arrive. And once again, he's missed the chance, but he's got in exactly the right place. Slightly disappointing for Højlund at the moment. He would expect the defence he's playing against to be pushing up a little bit now, so that he has something to run into. They've not done it much, have they? They've not given a lot of space for him to, drive into and run into, and he must be a wee bit disappointed at that, because they're 1-0 up. You'd expect that. Yeah,
talking about the young strikers on show, Benjamin Šeško, the 21-year-old centre-forward for Slovenia, has just won them an important free kick in an attacking position, so it's about 45 yards or so from the Denmark goal. The Danish defence holding a very high line here as the ball is floated in behind them towards the edge of the area. Andreas Christensen gets up to win the header. Højlund trying to hold on to the ball inside his own half, plays it across the face of his own box. Højbjerg is there. Eriksen making a great run down the right here if Bar can find him. Before the ball arrived there, Eriksen looking over his shoulder, wondering what was going on the other side of the field, and nearly plays the raking pass to Christensen and actually wins the free kick, released the pass with his left foot, but the referee thought he was fouled.
Yeah, but the run was great, wasn't it? Because we were right on a line with it, weren't we? and he must have come offside, then onside, then offside, then onside 3 times, knowing that the defence will try to do that. Problem is, how did he know? Because he had his back to it, didn't he? It's just the intelligence of the player.
Pat Nevin revelling in the performance of Christian Eriksen once again on the international stage here in Stuttgart. His goal separates these two teams in England's group. Slovenia 0, Denmark 1. And we are just over, I beg your pardon, 2 hours away from England's first game in this tournament. Coming your way on 5 Live and BBC Sounds against Serbia this evening. Højbjerg wide to Christiansen. Christiansen plays back to Vestergaard. Vestergaard sees the space away to his right. Joachim Andersen is there. Malakar comes trotting towards him. 1 minute of added time at the end of the first half. Denmark deservedly in front. Vestergaard, all the time in the world to swing a pass to his right to find Andersen. Andersen brings it forward, stops the ball under the studs of his right boot, then Bar miscontrols, but Slovenia can't keep it. Here's Hjulman, stretches, plays back to Højbjerg. Victor Christiansen screaming for the ball on the left-hand side with his floppy blonde centre parting, curling ball in early towards Vin, headed away but only as far as Alexander Bar. Hjulman's behind him if he wants the support, sees him there on the corner of the box. Hjulman chips it up in the air, tries to collect that himself. Šeško's there to head it away for Slovenia. No one behind him in a white shirt for Slovenia. Denmark have it again.
Slightly surprising that he just couldn't hold the ball there, but that's been the problem all game.
So Pat, quite a story. Denmark deservedly lead. They lead by 1-0. Our eyes, as the two sets of players head to the tunnel, immediately drawn to one man, as they have been throughout this entire first half. He scored the goal, and like we said, it was almost meant to be. Christian Eriksen's been fabulous in the first half.
It's a masterclass of how to play that position. I mean, you don't often get that sort of space because you don't get 3 lines in a game of football. You got a 4-4-2. You know where the space is. It's between the 2 fours. So usually somebody drops a little bit deep there. Nobody has. But you don't sit in there. You glide into there. You wait for the space to develop and you go in. It takes intelligence to do it. He's got it with bells on. He's been brilliant today, and he's been a joy to watch. And as I say, it's been a masterclass. However, if you're English, you're looking at thinking, Bellingham can do that, Foden can do that, you know, Cole Palmer can do that, and they would love to do that. That sort of space, if England get it, England would certainly destroy that Slovenian side. So
Denmark in front. Christian Eriksen, a joy to watch, as he always is, but particularly so on this stage at the Euros, given those horrendous circumstances 3 years ago when we thought we'd almost lost him. On the score sheet today, what a story. Half-time in Stuttgart, Slovenia 0, Denmark 1.
Alistair, Bruce Ball and Pat Nevin bringing you first half commentary and what could be an incredible story from that game between Slovenia and Denmark. The second half is coming up very shortly in England's group, and England get their European Championship campaign underway at 8 o'clock this evening. We're in Gelsenkirchen for that one. We're at the home of Schalke 4, and already with over 2 hours to go until kickoff, there are a smattering of fans inside this stadium. There are England flags draped all over the barriers towards our right-hand side and to the stand in front of us. The fans of Serbia seem to be placed over towards the left-hand side behind the goal. They've made themselves heard already today, and this is set to be England's crucial Euro 2024 opener coming up for you, with all the build-up at the end of this game between Slovenia and Denmark. Second half commentary of that one coming up, and we'll have the rest of the day's sports news after the BBC News.
The voice of the UK.
And the home of the Euros and the general election 2024.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Thanks, Kelly. With the BBC News, I'm Carl Hartley. A man armed with a petrol bomb and an axe has been shot by police in Hamburg, close to a fan zone where Dutch supporters are gathered. Officers say he's now being treated for severe injuries. Here's police spokesperson Sandra Levgruren.
What we know is that a man came out of a restaurant. He obviously had a Molotov cocktail in his hand and a pickaxe. He apparently tried to set fire to the Molotov cocktail and then walked towards several people with it, including police officers who were on duty here at the time. The officers then used their firearms.
Well, in a couple of hours, England get their Euros underway when they play Serbia in Gelsenkirchen. Around 1,000 officers are on duty for the match, which authorities have classed as high risk for trouble. Our correspondent Nick Beek, who's there, explains.
Certainly the police here have talked about the England-Serbia game being a high-risk one. Now, why is that? Already the British authorities have prevented some 2,000 known hooligans, people with a history of violence in the past, from travelling here. But one local officer was saying that they're aware of maybe 500 Serbian fans who may want to come here and cause trouble. So I think they're concerned that that could be a recipe for some sort of violence.
Away from the Euros, and dozens of countries attending the Ukraine Peace Summit have used the final communique to commit to Ukraine's territorial integrity. They urged dialogue, the return of all prisoners by both Kyiv and Moscow, and for Russia, which wasn't invited to return Ukrainian children it's taken. But Russia-friendly nations, including India, South Africa and Brazil, refused to sign the final declaration. The family of a 12-year-old boy killed in a hit-and-run crash in Coventry have described him as a fun-loving little comedian. Keaton Harris was struck by a black BMW in the city on Friday afternoon. The car was found abandoned that evening. And Surrey police say an officer who hit a cow with his patrol vehicle has been removed from frontline duties. An internal investigation has begun into the incident, and the force has referred itself to the police complaints watchdog. The cow suffered a number of cuts and bruises and has been returned to its owner.
20 teams.
This is just thrilling, insane stuff.
20 overs.
What a shot that is.
Only one winner. The ICC Men's T20 World Cup, live from the West Indies and the United States.
He's gone for it. We knew he would. And into the pavilion it goes.
For exclusive interviews and definitive analysis, subscribe to the TMS podcast.
Ball-by-ball coverage continues on 5 Sports Extra.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
This is 5 Live Sports with Kelly Cates.
On 5 Live. Listen on BBC Sounds.
You're listening to 5 Live Sport, and we are in Gelsenkirchen ahead of England's Euro 2024 opener against Serbia. Live commentary of that for you from 8 o'clock. We'll be building up to it from 7 here on 5 Live Sport at the end of that game between Slovenia and Denmark, where there is an incredible story developing, because 3 years after suffering a cardiac arrest at the Euros, Christian Eriksen has opened his country's scoring for this tournament. They lead Slovenia by 1-0 at half-time. Second half commentary coming up from that one ahead of England's game against Serbia. Let's head back now, though, to the Nottingham Open, where the final is underway between Karolina Pliskova and Katie Boulter. And watching this one for us, Paul Scott.
Yeah, they're in the very early stages of this final on centre court. Katie Boulter has actually just broken in the opening game, so she leads 1-0, looking to consolidate right now. Both these players playing for the second time today after rain caused their semi-finals to be delayed. The head-to-head between Boulter and Pliskova is 2-2. Now, the Czech sixth seed is currently ranked 50 in the world, 20 places below Boulter, but she is a former world number 1 and won this title here 8 years ago. She's also won Eastbourne twice. She does enjoy the grass, but Boulter, she really enjoys Nottingham. She came through in 3 hours and 3 sets against Emma Raducanu in her semi-final earlier.
Paul, thank you very much for that. And as Paul was just telling us, Katie Boulter did beat Emma Raducanu, but then Raducanu announced that she had rejected the chance to represent Team GB at the Paris Olympics later this summer. She's been explaining her decision.
I love playing for my country. I think that was pretty clear at Billie Jean King Cup. I really fought, and I enjoyed it so much, but the Olympics is just not the right time for me this year. I really hope to be a part of the next one, but I guess with the changing surface, it's just not worth the risk for me at this point, having recovered from the surgeries last year. But yeah, I do wish the team good luck. I think I'm very single-minded, and I do things my own way and at my own time whenever I want. So not in a diva way, but I think just prioritizing my body and my health, because I know if I'm fit, I know if I'm giving my 100%, like I know that great things are happening and coming. So I just don't think there's any need to put additional stress on my body or any risk, especially with my history. I just feel fit, like I feel strong. I don't feel like I picked up any niggles. I feel like I could keep going, which, I mean, even last year, even at the start of this year, just gaining that match fitness and being able to do day after day, I think it's a good position for me to now be in, to be, you know, either feeling a little bit fatigued, but to be at the latter stages of a tournament, whereas before, I mean, there's no point being super fresh if you're out, you know, first round or every week. So I think that I've come a long way, and actually I physically feel really good. So I think that block has just allowed me to do more work, more fitness. When you train such long hours in a day, like, yes, the matches are a different intensity, but you know you've got so much work back. You know you've been on the court 4 hours a day, 4 days a week. So, you know, like, whatever match you can play, you can be out there for 3 hours. And I think I'm at the point where I'm starting to trust my body a lot more. I wouldn't say I'm the finished product at all, but I think I'm getting there.
Well, earlier at the Euros, Netherlands beat Poland 2-1 in their opening match. Former Manchester United striker Wout Weghorst scored the winner. Ronald Koeman spoke to us, and we'll hear from him a little bit later on. You join us, though, in Gelsenkirchen, the home of Schalke 04, and England are about to get their Euro 2024 campaign underway this evening. 8 o'clock is the kickoff for that one. We'll have all the build-up from 7 o'clock as they prepare to face Serbia. Let's just bring ourselves up to date with everything that's been happening in the Euros so far today, though. As we know, Denmark are leading Slovenia by 1-0. That goal came from Christian Eriksen, and what a great story that would be. What a great story it already is, as 3 years after suffering a cardiac arrest at the European Championships, he opens his country scoring in this year's tournament. And as I said earlier, the Netherlands beat Poland 2-1 in their opening match. And this is Ronald Koeman talking about how it hasn't always been easy for Wout Weghorst.
First of all, when I spoke to Wout in the beginning of to come in with the national team, I tried to explain by every individual player the possibilities for starting or coming on the pitch in the second half when we need a different play. And he was a little bit upset. And that's good. I think that's a good reaction. But one maybe is upset and he's not working. Wout was upset and he is doing a lot to get the opportunity to start. And that's a great mentality from the player. I think every team needs Dutch qualities and also English qualities. That makes the team stronger. And of course he can start because he started in other games. He started really well, and that's an option. And we will see what the best is for the team, not what the best is for the player.
Well, that game got today's action in the Euros underway, and it finishes today with England's game against Serbia. Joining me here in Gelsenkirchen, our football correspondent John Murray and former England midfielder Izzy Christiansen.
Hello, Kelly.
John,
first time I've clapped eyes on you at this tournament.
It is, because
welcome to the Euros.
There's been a huge queue to get into the build. You've literally just sat down in the chair. It's been somewhat frantic.
Teething troubles, I would say, for the Arena auf Schalke's hosting of the matches at Euro 2024. And I suspect next time we come here, it'll be a good deal more straightforward.
The thing is, England can't afford to have teething troubles. No. They come, as they always do, into these big tournaments with huge weight of expectation and backed up by a really talented squad, certainly of attacking players there for England. So how important is it, not just in terms of how many points they get, because you feel that they can reach that and win the group, but just to manage those expectations, just to put that to bed, to start with a win?
I think the feeling would be totally different had it not been for last week. And that did significantly change things. And I know that it's right to say that was effectively a pre-season friendly, and maybe we shouldn't read too much into that. But it was more about the overall performance and the fact that wasn't a jammy 1-0 win by Iceland. They could have won by significantly more. And as we said on the night, I also feel that that's a match that all of the coaches who are going to be up against England in the group, certainly Dragan Stojkovic today, will have looked at and thought, right, that's how to get at England. And yes, there were lots of extenuating circumstances last week, and I do get that, and they've had a week since then. But that's why I feel tonight is either, it's going to be a real settler for England, a performance, a win, move on, or alternatively, you know what the alternative is.
The nerves could start kicking in, and certainly the inquest would start to begin at the end of that game. But England will be hoping they can get the result that they want against Serbia. We'll talk more from a Serbia perspective in the build-up to the game from 7 o'clock on 5 Live Sport. But for England, the team news we're expecting is that Mark Gay is going to start alongside John Stones. It is where it feels like Gareth Southgate has his biggest problems, certainly his biggest decisions to make.
Yeah, certainly so. And England haven't necessarily had, their perfect 11 available for the last 6 months or so. So, of course, we are drawn to the attention of the back four and how that's going to look. Luke Shaw coming back in, but the partner for John Stones was a key talking point up until now. And if Mark Gay does get the nod, you look at Serbia's strength and go, they're very good at crossing. They're very good, and the two English centre-backs need to be excellent at dealing with those crosses and stifling the threat of Serbia in the final third. So if it is Mark Gay, absolutely no problem. He's had a fantastic season, and I'm sure he'll be ready.
And let me just say, Kelly, as well, everything outside the ground here seemed calm. There were thousands and thousands of England fans making their way up to the ground, and similar numbers as well of Serbian fans. And there's a heavy police presence outside, but outside the ground here, everything seemed OK from what we saw. Hugely
reassuring, particularly what's happened in Gelsenkirchen today, and you'll hear lots more from that in our BBC News bulletins here on 5 Live. John Murray and Izzy Christensen, along with Matt Upson, part of our team here as we build up to England against Serbia, their opening match of Euro 2024. It's already underway for Denmark and Slovenia, and we can head back there now for the second half with Pat Nevin and Alistair Bruce-Ball.
Thank you, Kelly. Yes, Slovenia just making their way back out onto the field here. I imagine in just about an hour's time, maybe a little less, we'll be hearing from John Murray with the England team news ahead of Serbia-England. Kicking off 8 o'clock UK time. 5 Live BBC Sounds. This game at the moment also on the BBC World Service. Slovenia 0, Denmark 1. Neither manager's made any changes at half-time. I'm just going to dig into the old Deutsche Wörterbuch, the German dictionary, our little feature that's running across the breakfast show during the Euros this summer. Rick Edwards out here setting you the German phrase every day. Slovenia, apparently, Pat, need to do a bit of einen Zahn zu legen. Einen Zahn zu legen. I'm not going to tell you what it means, because in the Football Daily podcast on the BBC Sounds app, that's where the answer is revealed. So have a think about that one. They need to einen Zahn zu legen, apparently.
How do you know? I don't know what it means.
No, I
I might do. I'll not give it away.
Okay. Back underway. But Slovenia, I mean, what do you think, Pat? You were saying to me at half-time off air, possibly, that Slovenia, it almost seems slightly counterintuitive, play the 4-4-2, have got the two strikers who both look dangerous individually, but you were saying maybe need to remove one of them just to change things a little bit here.
Well, they're losing the midfield battle badly, and they're allowing too much space for Eriksson. What you usually do then is you make it a kind of 4-5-1 or 4-3-3, and gives you a little bit more solidity in that midfield, and you can cover those areas that are a danger to you just now. Yeah, you take off one of your strikers, but you have two wide men that can attack. It sounds as if it's a negative move. It's sometimes a positive one. It gives you a little bit more control again.
Fans don't always
see it that way. What, we're 1-0 down, you're taking off a striker?
Exactly.
What are you doing? But it can actually be seen, and that can work as a positive thing.
Pat Nevin, former Scotland international, represented his country at Euro 92. The one that Denmark won back in 1992, and here they are, Denmark, this iteration, leading Slovenia by 1-0. Both these teams in England's group, of course. Denmark have Kasper Schmeichel, the captain, in goal, yet with anything really to do. Referee at the moment, Sandro Scherer, just wants to have a little word with Benjamin Šeško and Pierre-Emil Højbjerg. Joachim Andersen, Andreas Christensen, Yannick Vestergaard, the three centre-backs for Denmark. Alexander Bar, Victor Christiansen, the 21-year-old. They're the two wing-backs. Højbjerg and Hjulman, Morten Hjulman of Sporting in central midfield. Christian Eriksen playing brilliantly and pulling the strings, scoring the game's only goal in the first half. Classic Eriksen goal as well, ghosting into space, brilliant touch on the chest, and then not trying too hard with the finish, just gliding it into the bottom corner. And here's Rasmus Højlund trying to use strength and pace to get past Drukovic, couldn't quite do it, but real intent from the Danish centre-forward. Here's his strike partner Vin on the right-hand side, looks for the little nutmeg down the byline, runs through to Bijol, and Bijol clears with his left foot. So Eriksen in the hole, and then Jonas Vin and Højlund as the front two.
He's a bull, isn't he? Hoyland, he just loves sort of wrestling with big centre backs, and he just believes his own strength is one of the best parts of his game, and he's not wrong.
Højbjerg chases a ball back for Denmark, so they will be looking for the second goal, obviously, to try and make their lead a little more comfortable. They know precisely the challenge that Slovenia offer, having come up against them in the qualification campaign. Here's Anderson from the right-sided centre-back position, curling passes over the head of Højlund. Karničnik, the right-back for Slovenia, prods the ball forward. Little back heel there from Stojanovic, has knocked it straight out of play, and Denmark take their throw from wide on the left. So they're pretty easy to distinguish the two teams, because Denmark are all in red with white trim, and Slovenia all in white with a little bit of blue trim. Here's Højbjerg, a little burst forward down the left, lays the ball off to Christensen. Back it comes to Vestergaard. Victor Christensen starting, actually didn't even mention this at the start of the game, but Joachim Mæhle is the one who often plays left wing back. He had a fabulous Euros 3 years ago, but Christensen has done well so far today.
Yeah, I mentioned in the build-up to the game, the backup that they've got, the Danes, is very, very good indeed. There's not that many players that they would be devastated to miss if they got an injury, because they've got good cover.
Šeško's been fouled, Andreas Christensen has been booked. Slovenia are trying to make their way forward inside the Denmark half. Christensen wrestling with Šeško. Was the booking right there, do you think, Pat? Enough in the challenge?
Oh,
it's
Højlund.
not. You're right, it's Hjulmand, sorry.
Hjulmand, yeah, I thought it was him. And he knew what he was doing. You know, what he does is what Slovenians aren't doing. They're leaving a deeper lying midfielder who's killing the space. Now, on that occasion there, he got a little bit more space left than he meant to, and he's taken a yellow card for the team, and it was a yellow card.
Curling ball down the left from Ilshik. That wasn't a clever challenge there from Anderson on Šeško. Scoop ball into the Danish penalty area. Andreas Christensen is the one to deal with it. Wasn't sure whether Kasper Schmeichel was coming or not. Didn't take any chances. Hooks it over his shoulder and out for a throw to Slovenia on the left. They've got Jan Oblak in goals. Zan Karničnik is the right back. Erik Jans are about to take this throw left back. Drukusic and Bijol, the two centre backs. Stojanovic wide right. Mlakar wide left. Gnezda, Cherin and Ilžnik in central midfield. Sporar and Šeško. Sean Connery would have been able to say that well, Pat, wouldn't he? Šeško. Long throw into the penalty. Oh, that's dangerous. Schmeichel comes nowhere near it. And in the end, Christensen clears it away with his left foot. Slovenia are appealing for a handball. So the video assistant referee might have something to look at here.
Well, he's definitely listening for it. You can see the referee's pointing to his ear. You know, it was a real good scam of a throw-in, because they thought it was going to be a long throw-in. So they all went to the near post. Problem is, it wasn't a long throw-in. It was a very long throw-in. It went well beyond them all.
I'll tell you what there, Pat, so it didn't hit Vestergaard's arm, but that was a really risky leap at the ball from Vestergaard, because he sort of splayed himself like a goalkeeper with both arms out wide.
They were completely shocked by the distance. I mean, a long throw is usually about the 6-yard line or just inside it. The ball bounced beyond the goal. That's a phenomenal throw.
Slovenia 0, Denmark 1. 6 minutes gone in the second half. Hope for Slovenia. Another enormous throw. Schmeichel comes out to punch it clear. Headed back across goal, and Slovenia can't scramble it home. Slovenian player down. Might have been caught as the cross came in. Bijol crosses again from the left.
We've got to have a look at that. Do you know, if he has been caught there and it's off the ball, it doesn't matter if he was trying to kick the ball. If he's kicked the player and missed the ball, could be a real chance of a penalty here. We'll have a look at it.
Let's have a look on the monitor. So Šeško leaps at the near post. Schmeichel punches it away. Stojanovic, Pat, heads it across goal. Sporar's trying to get there.
I'm not giving that. I think he's making more out of it than there is there. Let's have a look again. There's a better angle. He's caught him a bit. It's not clear and obvious, is it?
No,
it's not.
It's rash defending again, though. Vestergaard with the first one with the leap. This time it's Joachim Andersen, who just has a wild swing with his right foot. I'm not sure there's enough contact to be able to give that as a penalty.
There's enough contact to give it as a penalty if the referee's seen it. But is it a clear and a very, very, very clear one? No, it's not.
Yeah, with the referee having not seen it, they're going to back his decision on the field.
I think they've got that one right. That's exactly how the rule states it should run.
But there we go, Pat. I mean, danger, either side. Long throws into the box, cause Denmark problems.
Do you know, we're into the second half. I hadn't seen the long throw before that. 2 in a row caused mayhem in that back line.
Right, England take note. Who's got the long throw? I wonder whether that could be Kyle Walker. His podcast available for you on the BBC Sounds app at the moment. You'll never beat Kyle Walker. Football Daily there for you every day during the Euros as well. Match of the Day Top 10 podcast, also well worth a listen. Gary Lineker, Michael Richards, Alan Shearer going through things all European Championship related. Great talking points, lists, names, moments. Oblak clears with his right foot for Slovenia. They're trying to play out inside their own half. Ball, I thought, had broken for them there, and Ilschnick was bringing it away. There's a yellow card given, though, for the challenge by Stojanovic on Højbjerg, and suddenly the yellow cards are appearing at the start of the second half, and Denmark get the free kick.
I mean, maybe I've caught him. It's definitely not going to be deliberate, and there's nothing in that. It's an extraordinarily harsh. In fact, that's not even a foul. No. That's not. That might not be a yellow card. That's not even a foul. And a wee bit disappointed by, was it Højbjerg who went down?
Yeah.
Made a meal of it. Nothing wrong with him. It's very poor.
Sandro Scherer is our referee from Switzerland, officiating in his first major tournament. By the way, I know Pat will be interested in this as well. Serbia-England, obviously, got to be listened to this evening on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Kicks off at 8 o'clock UK time. If you're a golf fan, the final round of the US Open is set up beautifully. Commentary on that on Sports Extra from 7:30 this evening. Rory McIlroy starts 3 shots behind the leader, Bryson DeChambeau. Ludwig Aubert 5 shots behind. Eriksen's delivery into the box, takes a couple of touches, just goes wide of the Slovenian goal. Great delivery, caused real problems, and the last touch came from Bijol, who might have just saved his team there.
You just take it for granted it's going to be perfect. It's going to be incredibly hard to defend. It was actually, in the end, it was Bijol. It was great defending, wasn't it?
It was.
And he had to be very special to get that header past. Nearly went for an own goal, though.
9 minutes gone, second half. Slovenia 0, Denmark 1. Christian Eriksen, the orchestrator, the goal scorer. Corner taker to the far post. Headed away to the right flank for Denmark. Bar takes a tumble, and the assistant referee saw that clearly, decided it was a push. So Denmark get a free kick, and it's going to be one of those sort of short corner ones. So just up from the corner flag, just in from the touchline on the right. Guess who? Trotting over, about to cause Slovenia's defence more problems.
The last person you want to see doing that was that Stojanovic who went over there and pushed him again there.
Who's just been booked.
Yeah, he took a chance there. That was more of a booking than the previous one. The referee never blinked.
No.
Or lifted an eyebrow.
Right, there's the left-footed option here if they want the in-swinger. Left wing-back Victor Christiansen's over there. I think
if he's gone all the way over there,
he's going to run over the ball and leave it to the main man. Eriksen's ball, that was fizzed in at pace. Slovenia half clear, then it's whacked high in the air, headed forward by Hjulman. Backheeled flick. Højlund receives it, little trick from him, stretches to try and control. The ball runs to Eriksen, 25 yards from goal in the inside right channel. Looks left and right, rolls the pass to his right, and Joachim Andersen just kept that in play right underneath the eyes of the assistant referee on the right-hand touchline.
It's amazing many times that fans go mad saying that ball was out. No, it wasn't.
Eriksen,
on the line.
Clever step over. Ball runs to Højlund, just outside the penalty area. Drukovic in with the challenge. Bar plays it forward into the box. Vin gets a little nudge in the back, and then Bijol clears behind for the corner. And Højlund stays down just for a second there, but then hauls himself to his feet.
Yeah, he got a little bit of a shove there, but it's a more open game in the second half.
Yeah.
The first half really was controlled mostly by the Danish side, and I think you've got to give a little bit of credit to the Slovenians. They've come out, they've been a little bit more open, they've tried to push it a bit. I'm not sure they've got the energy to keep it going for 90 minutes at that sort of pace though.
Slovenian fans packing that end away to our right. That's the end that Denmark are attacking. Here's the corner from Eriksen from the right, an away swinger. Headed to the edge of the penalty area, second header, and the ball falls at the feet of young Victor Christiansen, who decides just to take a touch and come back to 37-year-old Denmark captain Kasper Schmeichel, who shows he can pass a ball as well as he pings a diagonal out to Christian Eriksen. Back it comes to Joachim Andersen. Across to Christiansen. Third centre-back gets involved as well. Vestergaard. Vestergaard plays to Højbjerg inside his own half. Turns away from Šeško. Wide it comes to Eriksen. Has a swing at a first-time left-footed pass. High spinning ball. Headed up in the air by Drukovic. Second header from Timmy Ilschnick. Once of Derby County. Many years ago. Had some loan spells in League Two at Swindon, Mansfield and Northampton, so maybe when he was doing that, I'm not sure he was necessarily thinking about playing for Slovenia in a major international tournament, but that's what he's doing this afternoon. Ball is loose inside the Slovenian half, knocked back to the goalkeeper Oblak. Eriksson comes hurtling towards him. Oblak knocks the ball into space down the left for Slovenia, and it's easily collected by Joachim Andersen.
It's going on a quiet phase of the game once again. And that's, the Slovenians can't allow that to happen. They need to keep it lifted, and I will not be surprised if they don't make a change or two in the next few minutes, because you can run out of time here. Just let the game just filter away. And there are one or two weaknesses in that defence for the Danes. And the one thing I would say, if you can get up the pack, get into the last third and get that long throw running, then you've got every opportunity.
Yeah, that's something certainly England will have to look out for when they play Slovenia. And your man Benjamin Šeško's wrestling with Joachim Andersen at the moment. That's England's third game in the group, their first one coming up this evening. Kicking off 8 o'clock UK time. Serbia against England in Gelsenkirchen. John Murray, Matt Upson, your commentary team for that one. 5 Live and BBC Sound. Šeško can't do anything with that. Schmeichel with an outrageously sidewinding fizzed ball with his right foot out to the left, pulled it off perfectly. Denmark have the ball now with Vestergaard. Christensen makes the run down the left-hand side. Vestergaard plays it across his own half to Andersen. Here's Barr. Barr lays it off to Højbjerg, halfway line, wide on the right. Pass forward intercepted. Might fall for Mlakar. Mlakar tries to knock the ball infield to Šeško. Højbjerg back to make amends, makes the tackle. Slovenian throw.
Shouldn't have been, but they got that. The referee couldn't see it from that sort of angle. But it's getting into that area where I was talking about, where they could maybe try a long throw from here. But then, if you've got that sort of weapon, you've got to manipulate situations that you can use it a little bit. And the fact that they never used it once in the first half tells you that they're not doing that. They're not using that enough.
Ball is with the Slovenian centre-back, Jaka Bijol, one of the 4 members of the squad who plays his club football in one of the top 5 European leagues. Plays for Udinese. Drukovic, he's the captain of Sochi in Russia, the other centre-back. Wide to Janza, his ball forward. Šeško, Denmark thought he was coming back from an offside position. He was. So Denmark get the free kick. We've got half an hour left in this game. First game in Group C. Denmark comfortable, leading by a 0-0, but it is only 1-0.
It is only 1-0, and the Slovenian fans, that's the ones you can hear in the background now. The Danes have gone quite quiet, but the Slovenians are saying, look, have a bit of a go, take a chance, do something slightly different. Maybe they will here. Yeah,
here's the opportunity, and then the pass is overhit from Ilshnik, way beyond Sporar. Just got a little overexcited there, and it goes out for the throw into Denmark in the left-back position. No sign of any changes as yet, although 5 of the Slovenian subs with the UEFA gold bibs on, going through the warm-up routines beneath us. Saw him last night, but he's just gone from our screen there. Fella in the red suit, so it's an entirely red suit, but it's plastered in Danish flags, suit and trousers.
Actually, I did see him last night.
Did you?
Yes.
Yeah. As well as the flamingos.
Yes. people are not going to believe it, but these flamingos are they? But they were there, I promise.
In the park here in Stuttgart on Pat's run this morning. Højbjerg running for Denmark, plays it wide to Christensen. Back again to Højbjerg. Little 1-2 with Hjulmand. Højbjerg out to the left to Christensen. Ball nearly ran to Eriksson. Slovenia have knocked it away, but not far. Højbjerg gives it to Eriksson. Eriksson suddenly zips forward into a little bit of space ahead of him. Left-hand side, plays back to Højbjerg. Into the middle it comes to Hjulmand. Hjulmand with the outside of his right foot finds Vin. Bit of space for Vin here. Support on the left-hand side. Christensen, good first touch. Whip cross to the far post beyond everyone. And that will go out for a throw-in to Slovenia.
During the first half, when Eriksson was completely and utterly controlling everything, and he was shooting, every opportunity, he was trying to get that second goal. There's a bit that thinks he knows that he can't play necessarily 3 games in 90 minutes. If he can get a game finished, he can go off and have a little bit of rest for half an hour and be able to last a bit longer in the tournament. But at the moment, that's not looking likely, because he's fallen out of the game a little bit. They're not creating as many chances. I suppose what they're saying, it's up to you, Slovenia.
Yeah.
You've got to come out. You're not coming out enough yet. Well, okay, we 1-0 up. We don't need to try anything special.
Winners of this group will face one of the best third-place teams from either groups D, E or F. Runners-up in this group will face the winners of Group A. Could potentially be Germany, that. Remember, this is England's group as well. This is Slovenia 0, Denmark 1. And if you finish third in this group and you are one of those best-placed runners-up, you'll play the winners of Group E, which contains Belgium, or Group F. That could potentially be Portugal. Here's Sporar on the ball for Slovenia in their bright white kit. Sherin on the halfway line. Rolls the pass across to his midfield partner, Ilznik. Denmark just back off for a second. Time to try and pick out a cross. In it comes, headed away by Vestergaard. Finds Eriksson just outside his own penalty area. Eriksson lays it off to Hjulman. Hjulman plays back to Victor Christiansen, who's going to try and make a move down the left. Højlund, having his shirt wrestled off his back there by Drukovic, wins the free kick just short of the halfway line.
It's been a bit of a physical battle between them two, hasn't it? I mean, the shirt, as you say, almost came off his back there. Just love Højlund's attitude. You think, okay, it's a battle. It's Shearer-esque. It's a battle, okay then, I'll take part in this battle, and I won't ask for any quarter, but I ain't going to be given any either.
Yeah, I think his attitude, Pat's been fantastic all season, hasn't it?
Love it.
For Manchester United as well in difficult times. They're looking for Højlund there. Anderson's ball is intercepted. Ilznik quickly forward looking for Šeško. Šeško, bit of strength, tries to knock Andreas Christensen off the ball. Denmark double up on him. Hjulman rolls it into the path of Højbjerg. Victor Christensen screaming for it on the left-hand side. Gets it. Low ball comes in. Højlund, oh, great save by Oblak. Made himself big on the goal line. Back to Bar. Drives the shot. That one hits Vin. So he blocks his teammate's own shot there. Højbjerg lays it off to Bar. Cross into the near post beyond Højlund and the run of Eriksson. This might fall to Højlund, but that came at it in pace. Tried to chest it down and control it. There was a foul in there from Højlund. Referee's going to play advantage. Stojanovic brings it forward for Slovenia. Šeško has dropped deep onto the ball. Slows things down, plays it into central midfield.
I don't know why they slowed things down, because they had players that were on their back. I mean, Højlund was lying in the 6-yard handling. I cannot believe they stopped that. They need to play at a little bit quicker pace. And by the way, let's go back to the goalkeeper there.
Yeah.
What a superb save by Oblak. I mean, we know he's extra special, but that's 3 yards out. He's got two players careering towards him. He's got to be not only good, he's got to be extraordinarily brave. He was, and he's kept his team in the game.
Yeah, Rasmus Højlund thought he might have had his first goal at a major international tournament. We're getting the replay right now. Christensen's delivery. Højlund is right there, sticks his right foot on it, and it thumps Oblak in the chest, all in bright yellow, making himself as big as he can. It's always one of the great things, isn't it, Pat? We're at major tournaments, and so many players, great players, occasionally miss out. I mean, Erling Haaland is not here at this tournament. Oblak has never played in a major international tournament. Great to see him here.
Absolutely the case, and he'll love that moment if it makes a big change to his team. And talking of changes to his team,
yes,
just about to have one.
We are about to have one for Slovenia. First up, 20 minutes gone, second half. England game getting ever closer against Serbia tonight. But look out, here comes Slovenia. Sporar collects the ball down by the byline, gets that cross in, headed just wide. Great run into the penalty area from Sherin, the little midfielder. The cross found him, and he just couldn't guide it beyond Schmeichel into the far corner.
I'd say that's the best moment of the second half for them. Simple ball down the line though. There's not a lot of zip on the cross. He's had to kind of dolly it up there, but he could have done. I mean, if your big centre forwards come on that as opposed to a midfielder, there's every chance that lands in the back of the net. Best chance maybe that they've had in the game so far. Couldn't take it.
Right, change. We'll see Stojanovic, the right-sided midfielder, coming off. I can see Malakar is going over to the right-hand side, and coming on is Benjamin Verbic, 30-year-old, plays his club football for Panathinaikos, and he was the one who scored the late winner against Kazakhstan in the qualification campaign to seal the deal for Slovenia and bring them to the Euros. Not going to be too far away from getting your first England lineup at this tournament. John Murray will bring us that. Matt Upson alongside him. Joe Hart and Izzy Christiansen you'll hear from as well, ahead of Serbia-England. Full commentary on the way tonight. Kicks off at 8 o'clock UK time, followed by Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton taking the calls on 6:06. Eriksson. Low pass to his left. Christiansen's cross is blocked. It's not the easiest thing to say, to get out quickly, and then he's tackled and it goes out for a throw-in to Denmark.
Again, you can see one or two tired players out there. I mean, it's a big old pitch, and you can see that the spaces are beginning to open up. And if you're the likes of Eriksson, you love that, but you're also getting a wee bit tired.
Throw in, little flick down from Vin, and then Eriksson tries something special. Ball bounced up on him, tight angle, and he's knocked it past the near post.
Same move as a goal. Exactly the same move as a goal. It's a throw in, it's a flick round the corner there, and Eriksson's making the third man run, which just makes me think that first goal's not a fluke.
No.
They've worked on that. They absolutely have worked on it. Now, it was a brilliant, and the skills all had to be done brilliantly at top speed, but they've tried to do exactly the same move there.
I should remind you as well, Serbia-England, you're able to watch that on BBC One this evening. But if you're one of those who loves the 5 Live commentary, which I hope you do, then there's an option on the iPlayer to have those BBC TV pictures, but you can have the 5 Live commentary synced up alongside. Joachim Andersen plays forward to Morten Hjulman. Back to Andersen, Hjulman again, on to Eriksson. Eriksson trying to turn cleverly just inside the Slovenian half. They're wise to him this time. Sheshko onto the ball, flicks it to his left. There's the substitute, Verbic, knocked over in the challenge. Referee said it was a 50-50, shoulder to shoulder. You can hear the reaction of the Slovenian fans inside this stadium. And Højbjerg brings the ball forward for Denmark.
100% on the referee's side on that one. It's just a coming together of two players, and Verbic couldn't get himself out of the way, but then he just stood still and took what was a thump. Yes, it was a thump, but he didn't have the ball under control.
Andreas Christensen to Højbjerg. Hjulman, first time. Vin knocked to the floor. Similar decision from the referee. No free kick. Sheshko on the turn, trying to get away from Christensen. This time it is a free kick. Christensen put a foot in. Then Sheshko and he exchange a few words. And now the referee is coming over to the Slovenian bench, and one of Maciej Kek's assistants is going to be shown a yellow card for a bit of verbals, I imagine, on the touchline.
And nonsensical anyway, because he was wrong. But in that case, they eventually get the free kick. They've got a chance to put it in the box. It's not a great angle, though, is it?
No. And in fact, Pat, for that reason, Sherin has just played it to his left-hand side, to the left-back Janza. Back it comes centrally. Then they knock it into the box. Header won by Andersen for Denmark. Cleared away by Victor Christiansen. Oh, Højlund does well to win that. That was a hard one. Holds the defender off. Now Eriksson. Eriksson's got Højlund ahead of him. Eriksson being chased by Cherin. Rolls the ball to the feet of Højlund. Højlund's got the defence backpedaling. Uses pace and strength to try and go on the outside. He's tackled, and it goes behind for the Slovenian corner. Danish corner.
That was one of the things about those three. When they get together, they've got a lovely triangle, haven't they? Eriksson, Finn and Højlund. Get the ball. They've got players around them, but they believe in each other, they work it with each other, come at 1-2s, eventually leads to a shot towards the goal there. You're definitely not seeing that with any link-up play whatsoever for the opposition when they're in their front third, and that's why you think, do you really need two strikers up there?
Live in Stuttgart with Pat Nevin, 5 Live, BBC Sounds, the BBC World Service. Serbia against England on the way here at Euro 2024. Eriksson with the corner for Denmark. Delivery superb as always, headed over the bar by Vin, got underneath it, and it went way over the crossbar and behind for the goal kick. Second goal, clearly you feel will kill the game and get Denmark the win, but it still remains 1-0.
There's plenty of international managers who think, you know, well, we're 1-0 down, I'm not going to panic. We're against a very strong side, but for 10 minutes at the end we'll have a dig, we'll have a go, and you just never know. It's quite a common thing to do in the game these days, and I wouldn't be surprised if Slovenia are thinking that way just now.
Yeah, I remember actually, Pat, sitting alongside you at the end of last year, and Scotland tried to do that against Spain in Seville, didn't they? And they were waiting, and they just conceded at the wrong time before they were about to go and do that.
And of course, McTominay scored a goal that was called off, cancelled out, and would have won. And of course, Scotland did do that against Norway, and it worked.
Yes. Yeah, 2-1 win, crucial win in the group.
It's nice to be able to say something nice about Scotland.
Yeah, Wednesday night, Pat, we'll be there again for the next one, Scotland against Switzerland. Full commentary, 5 Live and BBC Sounds. That is an 8 o'clock kickoff UK time. Plenty of football coming your way before that. Slovenia 0, Denmark 1 at the moment. 3 commentaries tomorrow. 2 o'clock Romania, Ukraine. 5 o'clock Belgium, Slovakia. Belgium, Slovakia in Group E. I was about to say Roberto Martinez's Belgium, and of course it's Roberto Martinez's Portugal, who aren't underway just yet. Austria, France is our 8 o'clock game tomorrow night. Free kick for Denmark inside their own half. A couple of Slovenian players getting a little frustrated. Denmark taking their time. Just over 15 minutes to play. Højbjerg stands over the ball, looking for options. What's he waiting for here, Højbjerg? Takes a deep breath and just taps it back to Vestergaard.
Well, killing a little bit of time. Why shouldn't it kill a little bit of time? Because the opposition aren't pushing it on. No one's turning around. The referee's shouting and bawling at him, saying, "You've got to change this. You've got to change this." And it just slightly surprises me that do the Slovenians actually believe in themselves enough? We're going to find out.
Yeah. What's interesting here, Pat, so one of the changes coming up shortly, I just see the number 5 has appeared. That is Jon Gorenc Stankovic. He's a defensive midfielder for Sturm Graz, but he's not going to be the only change. So there's going to be something else happening as well. Part of the plan for Slovenia, still trailing Denmark by 1-0. Yes, and the other change will be a striker in Zan Selar, who plays for Lugano in Switzerland. In the meantime, Denmark have conceded a free kick, and this is in a good position for Slovenia. It's about 25 yards out, maybe a little bit more, inside left channel. Left back Erik Janser cradling the ball in both hands.
It looks like a position for a right footer for me in that position there. You really want to zip that in towards the back post with some pace. I mean, you're talking 3 really good centre backs. You've got back there in Anderson, Christensen and Vestergaard as well. So, you know, you need to give it a bit of pace in there. I expect the 22 to hit it in here, Sharon.
Okay, let's see. Jans, the left footer, delivers. Good delivery and wide. Sporar again, getting in the right spot. I think got the final touch. He's on the floor inside the 6-yard box, and it's not wide of Kasper Schmeichel's goal.
To be honest, I give him that. It's a very good ball. But I tell you, it looked offside to me when it was played in. It looked about a foot offside to me. Sporar got in a good position just in front of it. Oddly enough, Šeško kind of ducked it.
Yeah.
Which is a real surprise. That's not what centre forwards generally do, and the ball's been fizzed across in front of the goalkeeper.
So Jan Selar and Jon Gorenc Stankovic waiting to come on for Slovenia. First major tournament for them for 14 years. At the last one they did play England, actually. Final group game 2010. Jermaine Defoe scored in a 1-0 win for England. I remember this is only their second Euros for Slovenia. The other one was back in 2000. I remember watching this game very, very clearly. They went 3-0 up against Yugoslavia, and it finished 3-3. It was one of those classic Euros games that I ended up watching, and I thought, why am I, what's this one going to be about? And it turned into an absolute classic, the 3-3 game. I think they're the only team in Euros history to have taken a 3-0 lead and not been able to hold on to it. They trailed Denmark by 1-0 here, 15 minutes to play.
Yeah, and they thought with Denmark we're going to make a couple of changes as well, but the last thing you want to do when you're trying to kill a little bit of time is to make changes at the same time as the opposition. So they've changed their mind there. They'll wait a few minutes.
Yusuf Poulsen, the RB Leipzig forward attacker, waiting to come on for Denmark. Plenty of major tournament experience for him. And Joachim Mæhle, left wing back, now plays his club football for Wolfsburg, waiting to come on as well. Slovenia's left back Janser fires it forward. Might drop to Šeško, edge of the box. Oh, he's hit the post with a thunderbolt. Right-footed effort, he caught that so well. Schmeichel was beaten and Slovenia were nearly level. What a hit!
He's had 2 storming hits in this game. One in the first half, which skinned the post. The keeper was absolutely nowhere near it, Schmeichel. This time, it's an even better hit. He's caught it on a half volley, and it's lashed. It's got a little bit of a bend on it. And that bend is taking it onto the post as opposed to taking it past. Schmeichel's diving across, but he hasn't got a sniff of that. He's going to get nailed that.
I want the speed gun on that, Pat. Whoa, blimey.
Well, so Fulkrug's the all night, which
That's
was
right.
lightning.
Corner for Slovenia, delivered in. Højbjerg gets a header onto it. Out of the penalty area it goes. Driven, deflected in! Erik Janser's shot for Slovenia has them level late in this game. He hit it true, he hit it well. It took a crucial deflection, and having just struck the woodwork with a thunderbolt, Slovenia get their reward. Denmark are punished. Slovenia won. Denmark won. The entire Slovenian squad come out to celebrate.
It almost feels like rope-a-dope. They've just sat back. They've sat back, and then they went, OK, we're going to have a little bit of a go now. Made the changes, bringing another forward player on, so they've got a 3-man front line. And they've just completely changed it. They hit the post with a last shot from that man Šeško, but it was the left fullback in this occasion He's got it well. I wonder if there was any deflection. Did you see a deflection?
I think I did, Pat.
Yeah, tiny little deflection has gone through. We're seeing an angle now. Kasper Schmeichel, he's got a good look at it. So, yeah, it's got a big old deflection there. Schmeichel would have caught it, but that deflection's taken it by, and 1-1.
Do you know what that's reminded me of, Pat? So the first game we did, Germany-Scotland, Mittelstadt, the left-back, kept hitting those sort of efforts over the bar in that game. He kept that one down brilliantly.
Absolutely brilliantly. So, you know, we were talking just, minutes before it, saying, you know, you sit back, you wait, you wait. Lots of coaches are doing it. Classically, it has worked because he made the changes, and immediately the whole team was lifted.
Should make for a really exciting last 13 minutes plus added time here. First game in Group C, England's group. Serbia-England on the way. Kicks off 8 o'clock UK time. Full commentary coming up right here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Now Slovenia 1, Denmark 1. Slovenia have got the bit between their teeth, so here they come on the attack. Gerent Stankovic floats a high ball, crossed in by Janza, might fall here on the volley. Second attempt from Sporar, gets underneath it, knocked high over the bar, and it goes behind for a goal kick. But Denmark are going to have to come out and try and find another.
They've made their 2 changes, and you know, but they're panic changes now, aren't they? So because you've slightly panicked, you know, the whole team are thinking, wait a minute, what's going on here? And they look as if they've lost their shape a little bit and not comfortable with the position that they're in. And Slovenia believe, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
They do not look as if they have believed at any point in this game up until the last 3 minutes. And by the way, they don't look as if they fancy a draw now.
No,
they want to go and win it.
Chasing everything, pushing the back on Gerent Stankovic from Højlund. He's frustrated, kicks the ball away. In the Premier League, that would be a yellow card. But here the referee decides not, just the free kick. So,
well, he's allowed it to go on a little bit there, I understand that. But, you know, the game's been generally played in a pretty good spirit, so I absolutely understand that the referee doesn't want to get these yellow cards out too early. And he's already made one mistake with a yellow card, so no more at this point in time.
So Joachim Mæhle on for Victor Christiansen, wide on the left for Denmark. Yusuf Poulsen yet to get into the game. Free kick for Denmark just outside their own penalty area. 10 minutes plus added time remaining. Slovenia 1, Denmark 1 in Group C. Slovenia have only ever won 1 game out of 9 at major international tournaments. South Africa 2010, they beat Algeria by a 1-0. They've never got out of a group. Here's Alexander Barr, tackled by Bijol, and wins a corner for Denmark. Christian Eriksen still out there, gets ready to take it.
Yeah, it's a tough one if you're Denmark, because you're thinking we should win this game. This should have been wrapped up. They've had the vast majority of the possession in the game. I don't know the exact stats, I think 65%, something like that. But, you know, they didn't finish them off, and suddenly they're up against a team that really fancy it. Now, this game could go either way.
Yeah.
By the way, a draw, the best result for England.
Yeah, good point, actually. Christian Eriksen floated ball with the corner. Vestergaard heads it back towards goal, but not much pace on that. And easy to catch for Oblak, and you can hear the reaction from the thousands of Slovenian fans massed together behind his goal. Oblak bowls the ball out underarm, so in the group qualification in Ljubljana it did finish Slovenia 1, Denmark 1. In Copenhagen it was Denmark 2, Slovenia 1. Now we've got Slovenia 1, Denmark 1, with Serbia, England on the way. But here comes Slovenia. The pass may have been played a bit early for Sporar. No, he's got pace to get past his man, hits the shot, slices it into the side netting. Schmeichel had come out to close the angle, and the referee's given a corner.
Do you know what? Sporar might be quick, but was that Vestergaard towing a caravan there?
Yeah. Well,
he just went past him completely. It was Vestergaard, wasn't it? I cannot believe it took about 5 yards off him in a space of 10 yards. That's incredible. Either that or Vestergaard's injured, maybe.
Do you remember, Pat, Chelsea's first goal against Leicester in the FA Cup this season? You and I were commentating. Exactly that happened down that channel there.
It's pure pace, nothing more than that. Look, see, since the goal, who's the most likely team to go in and win this? It is, isn't it? It's Slovenia, which is unthinkable for the minutes before.
Here comes the corner, swinging to the far post. Great catch by Schmeichel. He wasn't challenged as such for the ball, but at full stretch, falling backwards, clings on cleanly to the Euro 2024 match ball and delivers a lovely volleyed pass out to the left-hand side. Mæhle plays it infield to Højbjerg. 8 minutes plus added time remaining. Slovenia 1, Denmark 1. yet to get a draw at this tournament so far. All the, you'd say, fancied teams in each of the games has won. Germany beating Scotland, Switzerland beating Hungary, I suppose you'd call it that way. Spain 3, Croatia 0, Italy beat Albania last night. Netherlands beat Poland 2-1 earlier on today, but this 1-1, long ball forward, won't find bar. Triple change now being made late on by Kasper Hjulmand, the Danish boss. So Yusuf Poulsen will come on. Kasper Dolberg, the striker who scored some important goals at the last Euros in the knockout stages, now plays his club football for Anderlecht. He's coming on. Højlund is coming off for Poulsen. And the other player to come on will be Brentford's central midfielder, Christian Norgard. So double change up front, one change in midfield, Højbjerg off and Christian Norgard on.
Do you know, that's really clever and really sensible to make that, because you could see they'd run out of legs there. They weren't getting much, in no possession in the midfield, but they were being run off the ball. So that change that's been made there is just, right, we cannot allow that to happen anymore. It's also trying to win the game as much as they possibly can, but good movement there for the coach, because he could have actually lost the game there if he'd have just sat where he was.
Slovenia take their goal kick. Selar is the one to receive it wide on the right, plays it back to Karničnik. Vestergaard very nearly miscontrolled, then it ends up looking like a brilliant touch, but it wasn't. Ball spins back in play and he comes back to Schmeichel. Schmeichel digs his right foot underneath the ball, down the middle of the pitch he goes, intercepted. Gerent Stankovic knocks it forward. Eriksson on the ball for Denmark, crosses the halfway line, foul, barged over there, picks himself up, wants to take that free kick quickly, and the yellow card is given for the challenge by Selar.
Yeah, sometimes you have to do it. That's one of the things you have to do it. I have to do Eriksson, although he's not anywhere near the influence this second half he did in the first half. Still looks sprightly, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He looks some really good nick out there, and he's still out there when others have been taken off for not a rest because they've run out of gas. He hasn't. Yeah,
well, he's the man who's most likely to be able to sort of unlock the defence if Denmark are going to get a late winner. Yusuf Poulsen on the turn, tackled by Bijol. Slovenia's next game is against Serbia on Thursday in Munich. Denmark's next game against England, Frankfurt, Thursday, 5 o'clock commentary, that one, 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Alexander Bár, long throw for Denmark into the box. Poulsen flicks it on and it's volleyed away up towards the halfway line. Andreas Christensen plays to Hjulmand. Joachim Andersen, that pass is short. Šeško is able to collect for Slovenia. Loose pass from him, intercepted by Bár into the last 5 minutes of the 90, and it remains 1-1. Little layoff from Dolberg to Poulsen. Poulsen comes running in from the right-hand side, finds Eriksson 30 yards out in a central position, slides it forward to Dolberg. Good feet from him. Another ball looking for Eriksson on the edge of the box. Half deflected, spun away from Eriksson, but now he plays a first-time pass back into midfield to Norgard, wide to Bár. Denmark probing here. Norgard's low ball. Poulsen controls, back to goal edge of the box, lays it back. Hjulmand, weak shot straight at Oblak.
It's actually the best part of the game we're having now, because it is very, very open. Both teams have got the possibility of a point, but actually neither seems to want a point. They both want to really go for it, so it has opened up and it really is enjoyable. And again, I have to say to the Slovenians, it is 4-2-4 now. They're really going for it. They've got two wide wingers either side. The two strikers are staying up the park. It is wide open in the midfield. They really want to win this game. They believe they can.
Benjamin Verbic wide left, Selar the sub wide right, Sporar and Šeško the two strikers.
It is noticeably 4-2-4, not 4-4-2. Really noticeably. Yeah. Which, I mean, might not sound like much, but in the modern game, that is seriously unusual.
And that's why Gerent Stankovic, the defensive midfielder, has been brought on, because he's got to sit there in the middle alongside Serin. Long ball forward towards Šeško. Sporar leaps in the air dramatically. Referee buys that, says free kick Slovenia. It may well come, you know, Pat. You never know.
As I say, the most likely at the moment, if you've got those four attackers up there, Denmark are spooked, and the pure psychology of it, you know, having dominated the game and then suddenly you only have a point and you start looking around at all your teammates thinking, do you believe? Well, I know the Slovenians do at this point in time.
Early exit for Denmark in Qatar, and things didn't go to plan. Serin's free kick into the box, headed down. Poulsen will chase with Bijol. Bijol tries to shove Poulsen out of the way. Poulsen does well. stays strong, keeps the ball, and then terrible ball with the outside of his right foot looking for Eriksson. That was hugely ambitious there and was never going to be able to pull it off. Slovenia work it away to the right-hand side. Here's Sporar, who's dragged Vestergaard out wide with him. Mela comes back to help. Karničnik, the right back, gets that cross in, looking for Šeško. Header from Verbic is wide, and the referee thinking he's going to give a goal kick.
He wasn't sure, was he? He absolutely wasn't sure. Giving himself plenty of time. Again, no great complaints. It's one of those ones you definitely see. No, he's got a little head.
Tell you what though, Pat, look what's appeared on the screen here. The referee's saying, hold on, it says potential penalty check.
Possible hand. That would be extraordinarily harsh.
No.
I couldn't give that.
No, they've done that very quickly, checked it, nothing doing there.
They're good with the speed, haven't they? They're really good with that.
Yeah.
It's a big thing, and the big problem I had in the Premier League is taking ages and ages and ages. People get frustrated. It's actually not happened here, particularly tonight.
No, and with certain decisions, Pat, they will be quicker. We've got the semi-automated offside. We've also got motion sensors in the ball now to help with those sort of things. I mean, that one's different. That's a subjective penalty decision, but you're right, the game has moved.
It's not affected. There have been quite a few VAR checks in this game, but you kind of wouldn't notice.
No, that's true. That is true. 89th minute. Slovenia 1, Denmark 1. England's first game in the tournament nearly upon us, just over an hour away. Full commentary here, 5 Live BBC Sounds. Also available on BBC One. You can sync the 5 Live commentary with the BBC pictures via the iPlayer. 6:06 will follow the game tonight. And of course, all the reaction to today's football in the Football Daily podcast, available for you on the BBC Sounds app, which is an absolute must for this tournament because you're never going to be able to listen to every single game. You'll have other things to do, but you can always take us with you with the BBC Sounds app. Late change made by Denmark. Thomas Delaney comes on and Hjulman comes off. 90th minute of the game. Slovenian fans are the ones who are singing. Danish fans away to our left looking a little nonplussed. Christian Eriksen with the wonderfully taken goal. Fabulous story in this game. His return to a European Championship after the awful events of 3 years ago when we thought we might have lost him, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough for Denmark here. Gerent Stankovic battling with Eriksen. Gerent Stankovic has won that battle. Slovenia have the ball inside their own half. Not the best ball from Janza. He's going to be a national hero though for his shot, which deflected in off Hjulman for the Slovenia equaliser. Verbic now attacking down the left-hand side on the dribble. He's got Denmark worried. Šeško, edge of the box. Defenders closing him down. Lays it off here to Karničnik, who hits it with his right foot. And well off target. Behind it goes for the goal kick.
Well, he's got a big smile on his face because he's turning around to the left full-back saying, well, you tried it. I'm allowed to try it. However, he put it about 20 yards over the bar. Absolutely wrong call on that occasion there because they had the two strikers in the box. Much more sense that we give them a chance to go and attack it.
4 minutes of added time remaining. Slovenia 1, Denmark 1. Slovenia waiting to make a late double change. Andreas Christensen striding forward gracefully for Denmark. All in red. Alexander Bart back to Eriksen. Eriksen into midfield to Norgard. Norgard plays it across to Vestergaard. Forward to Norgard again, just inside the Slovenia half. Slovenian fans whistling and jeering. The possession by Denmark. Eriksen's delivery, floated ball, diagonal wide to the left. Karničnik covered the ground, heads it out for a throw into Denmark.
Do you know, sometimes you want your fans at the end that you're attacking. Actually, right now, they want their fans behind them, don't they, Slovenia? Because they're going to have to do some defending. The noise they're making there, brilliant. They want a point here.
Ball is given away, though, by Slovenia. Dangerous this. Eriksen plays it to Norgard. Norgard on the left is going to get this cross in. Dolberg leaps, it goes right across the face of goal. Poulsen was trying to get on the end of it, and then Oblak was concerned for a second. One of those crosses sometimes that doesn't get a touch and goes all the way into the far corner. Goal kick.
And Højlund saying, why was I not on the pitch for that one? That's exactly the one he wants there. No one gets it. Goalkeeper. Ooh, I don't think he would have got back for it, do you?
No.
If it had gone in and hit the back post, I think the keeper had sold himself early.
2.5 minutes to play. Slovenia 1, Denmark 1. Slovenian fans alive inside the Stuttgart arena away to our right. Bouncing up and down, waving the scarves and the flags. Throw in though for Denmark. Still more defending to do for the Slovenian national team, and still the two subs wait to come on. Here's Joachim Andersen. He's going to go for the longer ball towards the edge of the box. The target is Poulsen. Poulsen leaps, glancing header behind him. Joachim Mæhle gets there first for Denmark. Low pass into the feet of Norgard. First touch, curling cross from him to the far post. Headed away by Janza for now for Slovenia. Little nudge on Šeško there, ref didn't spot it, and then the ball's passed out of play, and that will go behind for a Slovenia goal kick.
Huge relief again there for Slovenia. I mean, it's a very open game now. It's a bit scrappy, but that sometimes happens when so many changes have been made and, you know, systems are a bit weird and there's a big space in that midfield, but no one has made that great a chance in the last 5 or 10 minutes. It's making me think that possibly the draw would be the right result.
Yeah, I think the reaction of the two sets of fans inside the stadium tells you absolutely everything, because the Slovenian fans are joyous, they are singing, and they are roaring their team to the rooftops, and the Denmark fans are just all sat still away to our left-hand side, and they've nearly played Schmeichel into trouble there. He's off his line quickly and clears with his left foot as Sporar was closing in. Ball forward from Gorenc Stankovic, but that is to no one in particular. Vestergaard goes rumbling back to collect it for Denmark. We've only got a minute left in this game, and it's going to be a great result, you'd have to say, for Slovenia. I think England fans will be quite happy that this one has ended up as a draw. The most miffed will be Denmark. They were in control of the game, had the lead early on through Christian Eriksen, haven't been able to find the second goal, and now Schmeichel's waiting to take the goal kick, but Slovenia making late changes. Šeško is one of those coming off. So, Pat, very quick report on Šeško before England face him in this group.
He didn't have many opportunities, and there are some raw edges or rough edges that, you know, have to be hand off, but he is lightning quick. He is physically quite strong. He's had two not even close to half chances, and one of them he has lashed it onto the crossbar or the post, and the other one, beating the goalkeeper, all ends up and just skimmed past. So yeah, he's worked hard, attitude's been good. Don't give him space. That would be the warning. Don't give him space.
No, I think Slovenia might finally have settled here for the draw, because they've taken the two strikers off, Šeško and Sporar. Centre-back Brekalo has come on, Kurtic has come on, but they've seen very little action because the full-time whistle has blown in Stuttgart. The opening game in England's group has finished 1-1 between Slovenia and Denmark. A truly joyous football moment to see Christian Eriksen return and score a goal like that for Denmark. But they will be as frustrated as Slovenia are overjoyed. The deflected effort from Janza got Slovenia their equaliser. The plan, Pat, you called the Slovenia plan before it happened, and it's worked for them.
Yeah, rope-a-dope. You know, you just wait and hope. Okay, you're one down, but it's only one. And when you have a chance to have a goal, the psychology of that is incredible, because the opposition think, what? So they get a 4-2-4 in the end, and they just launch themselves. And it's only a 5 or 10 minute attack, but it worked. They got the goal. They almost got a second goal, and for that, and for the intelligence of that, they deserve the point that they got. All kind of secondary in the end, because it's a great result for England, but in only one condition. England must win tonight.
You've teed it up beautifully, Pat. All over in Stuttgart. My thanks to Pat Nevin. Next up, Serbia and England in Gelsenkirchen in this group. But the first game in this group is finished. Slovenia 1, Denmark 1.
Alistair Bruce Ball and Pat Nevin bringing you commentary of that game between Slovenia and Denmark in England's group. A really lovely story there, with Christian Eriksen scoring 3 years after he had that cardiac arrest in the European Championships. Pat, I just wanted to ask you about the team's performances, though, because England, obviously, their scouts are going to be looking, and their analysts are going to be looking at this performance in a very clear-eyed way. Is there anything in those two teams that could cause England concern in their later group matches?
Well, let's take Denmark first. Christian Eriksen's a very good player, and you give him space. He looked absolutely brilliant. England ain't going to give him space. Not a chance is he going to get the space. They got the first half in this game, so that's one thing you don't have to worry about. They're good at the back, Anderson, Christensen and Vestergaard. Maybe question mark of the pace, certainly late on in games. Anything to worry about? Yeah, international teams have got things to worry about. Are Denmark as good as England? No. Full stop. No. Then you would move on, I would say, to Slovenia. I think Šeško's has got something special there. They have got a phenomenal long throw. Beware of that. And also they've got a cute manager who clearly knows what he's doing, to sit there brave enough and hardly play against the opposition for 75 minutes and then think, right, we're going at you now. And it worked a treat. And it got them a point, and it really nearly got them 2 points, so the 3 points. So, well done them. Good intelligence about them. But as players, 1 to 11 in quality, England, play at your best. You're going to win both games against both these teams.
Pat and Ali, thank you very much. Good to hear from both of you.